today. I'm super excited to have with me David Hooker. He's an artist here from the city of Chicago in the Chicagoland area. And he came up with a really interesting concept as working with pottery. Well, David, super happy to have you here today. How you doing?
I'm doing well. Thanks for having me. It's a real honor.
Thank you, man. Thank you so much. I've been, following kind of what you are doing. And inside the academy, you mentioned that you had created like this concept, this idea, working with pottery, and particularly for your community. So we're going to talk a little bit about that. But before that, tell us a little bit about, how things are going where you're at, how long you've been in lockdown, how does that look like for you?
Yeah, it's been, I guess, maybe about 3 weeks that we've been in lockdown. And this week, I think, is kind of predicted to be kind of the height of the curve. So
yeah.
It's gotten a little bit more strict as we've gone along. It's been actually, in a way, not as stressful for me as it has been for a lot of people. I'm really fortunate that I have a studio that I'm the only one here. So
okay.
I can leave the house and drive to the studio and still be safe. So
that is great.
So it gives me a good creative outlet. So yeah.
Very good. So nobody is coming to bother you.
Right.
And it's something that's funny. Sometimes isolation kind of works for all of us artists, right? Like finally.
Yeah, there is a kind of strange way in which like our practice, I think, is sort of prepares us for this in a certain way. And I'm an extrovert by nature, so
okay.
So it is a little bit of a balance, but yeah, I found a really good, like, calming. Anytime I start to get anxious, just coming to the studio and working, it's been really good. So
yeah, the process of working kind of helps us to process also what's going on in the world.
Yeah.
So David, you came up with a kind of a really cool idea as you were thinking of, how you could use also your art to engage with your community. And, I've seen other artists also doing different things. So can you tell us about, what's your idea that you came up with?
Yeah, sure. So just to give you a slight piece of background, I'm a college professor and I teach ceramics all the time. So teaching ceramics is something I was already really comfortable doing. And I've taught at all different levels in my career. So, so I was just sort of trying to think of a way to do something that would connect into the community, particularly knowing how many people around me were very anxious and looking for outlets and things like that. And actually, I kind of got the idea from a weird, like 3 or 4 different things kind of converging. So one, as you've already mentioned, is just being part of Next Level Artists, which, you and Dr. Yanina and your challenges have sort of really challenged me to do more like video and get online. And I've really enjoyed learning that process. And I've gotten some really good feedback from that. So that was sort of one part. And then another thing was I was watching like a commercial kind of public service announcement about coronavirus. And it was sort of, here's a way like you can get your food delivered to you and like the person can come and like put it in your garage and then they leave and then you come and pick up your work. And when I saw that, it suddenly dawned on me that this could be a way that I could actually do something with ceramics with the community.
So awesome.
So I set up the class basically as a online mug making workshop for only, you have to be able to drive to my house. So people sign up and then I got a full class and then they started, I made a kit for everybody, which was like a small board, some clay, a few really simple tools. And then they drove over to my house and picked up the clay from my garage. And then they were paid online. And then they took it home. And I've been doing videos to sort of teach them how to do, how to make the pots. And they're making the pots right now. And now I'm getting like pictures of their pots back. And they're all like, there's a lot of fun and everybody's having a good time, which I was really stressing. Like, this is way more about having fun than it is about like making perfect mugs.
Right.
So when they get finished, they'll drive them back to my garage, and then I will take them to my studio, glaze them, fire them, bring them back to my garage, and then they finally pick up their final pieces. So the whole thing's about 2 weeks.
2 weeks. That is awesome. I love that idea. So in the case of, let's say if I'm participating, right? I come, I pick up my kit from your home, and then I can right away go and watch the video. So
right, exactly.
Are you posting them on like a private Facebook group or something like that where people who are registered can?
Yeah, man, I'm telling you, I spent so much time trying to figure out the right way to do this. I will say one of the things I was not prepared for was for a great response. I thought maybe I would have just 4 or 5 people. And then I had a ton of people in 24 hours, like 30 people in 24 hours.
Wow.
And I was a bit overwhelmed, but
did you put before you go, did you put a max out how many people, like, this is it, I cannot take anyone?
I finally did. Yes. Okay. I actually started a second session because there was so many people. I was able to do that. So
yeah.
But yeah, I used YouTube, and I made an unlisted, made them
password.
Well, no, not a password. I made a sort of a section where it's like all of these videos will be unlisted. And then I sent the link out to everybody so that they could get them. So,
gotcha. Okay.
Yeah. So it was really simple. I tried to make it really hard, and then I went back the other way and made it.
Yeah. Yeah. And that's always, as I've been helping artists with the same, as they're trying to do different things. Yeah. Don't overcomplicate it. Don't overcomplicate it. Right. The easier for people to.
I totally did that. So I had to back up a little bit. But yeah, anyway, it was really simple, and people seem to be enjoying the videos. I will say there was, for me, a learning curve to doing this kind of video, because even though I've taught in person for like 20 years, and I'm sure you know this better than anybody, like when you try to teach something online, it is a totally different beast. And I realized when I made the first ones, I went back and looked at them, they were really kind of dull and and sort of like monotone, and they were too long. And so I had to really focus on like trying to keep them about 15 minutes long or less, and staying really upbeat, because I was telling people like I want this to be fun, and then I looked at my first videos and they were not fun at all. They were not fun. So I was so determined to get like all of the content in. I lost the sort of fun. So I had to again, it was interesting to me, like how much I've had to learn along the way.
Right. And were you using like your phone for the videos?
Yeah. Yeah. So again, it's sort of keeping it really simple. I have, just so you guys know, I have an iPhone 10, which also has iMovie on the phone. And iMovie, that little simple iMovie app, if you happen to have an Apple phone, is perfect. You don't need to do a ton of editing, but it enabled me to like cut the clips and put them together with transitions. And it sort of looks like a bad copy of Martha Stewart, which is kind of what I'm going for, So
that's awesome. And I mean, all that technology all my 270 episodes of Breakfast with Sergio have been done, all of them 100% have been done with my phone, except for maybe two that we did a special thing, but on my phone, just on a little tripod on my table. And when I go travel, just a little bigger tripod, and then go to iMovie, editing, get them out, what people is.
So like even right now, I'm talking to you with a little tiny tabletop tripod that I actually got at the hardware store of all places for like in a $5 bargain bin.
Sometimes when you're on the line waiting to pay, and then you see those things, I might need this one day.
Exactly. Yeah. I was like, oh, this might come in handy. And I'm sitting it on a block of wood. So it's like really, really low key, really easy to get into.
Right.
So the next thing is probably a lapel mic, which I don't have. Like if I really want to sort of take it to the next level, that's probably the next thing. But it's fine. I don't really need that right now.
No, I think, what people are looking for is, learning what you have to teach them. That's what they came for, and they got the kit. And I don't know if you're doing some sort of also you can do a specific hashtag for your students. So then when they're all done and they get them back, or even in the process, you know, have them use that hashtag so that then you can keep track of them when they post it on their Instagram or their stories, and then you can repost that. And that will serve you also to promote the next one, you know, because if you were busy right now with no like students that have taken it already, you know, once they all finish, they will tell their friends, or their friends will ask, and so on. And I think you're gonna have a lot of work in the next few weeks.
I think you're right.
If you want to do this full time.
That is a really great idea too. I have to say, I did not think about a hashtag, but that's perfect. Some people are starting to post their pieces midway through already.
Perfect.
And it's definitely been two different types of audiences too, which I've been thinking about, which is, one is adults, just adults only, but there's a lot of like young families. So like the adult sees it and says, oh, I want to do this with my kids. And so I probably will make some videos specifically like for that, like how to work with your kids well. And then some others that are just for adults. And so, yeah, I can, once I sort of started this, I'm just now starting to get the feedback about how to do it better, who is my audience. And then now I can start to tailor it a little bit more and more.
Well, David, I mean, that is awesome. Tell us a little bit, I know we're running out of time, but tell us a little bit about the type of work that you do as well. And we will be showing some of those images, you know, as you tell us a little bit about it.
Cool. So my grad degree is in ceramics. So like everything sort of goes through that, then funnels out. You can see a few pieces in the background. There's some sculptural work. There's a few pots. I think maybe you can see. Oh, here, I'll pull this one out. So here's like a bottle.
Beautiful.
Thanks. And I do like, here's a laser print, bee print. So I dabble in a lot of things. I think my work is primarily about the in-between spaces. So they're kind of about like physical and spiritual and chaos and meditation. And like, it's always in this sort of hovering about abstract and figurative. So yeah, I'm just sort of always in this sort of in-between place. And it's also kind of conceptual. So
okay, awesome. Well, thank you so much. Well, David, where can our friends find you on social media for friends who would like to you know, see your work also? You know, the thing that you're doing as well with the Pottery, the project, that would be really cool.
Yeah, cool. So you can visit my website, davidjphooker.com, and you'll see right away a click to the online workshop. So you can see a little information in a video that I made to start that. I am on Instagram at davidjphooker and Facebook at davidjphooker artwork.
Okay, awesome. Well, thanks so much, David, that you've been awesome. Thank you so much for sharing, you know, what you're doing, because I think, you know, more than anything, you know, you found a framework that works for you, and this framework can work for many other artists, perhaps, you know, anywhere in the world, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
Working with their community. So thank you for sharing that idea. I think it's fabulous. And we wish you great success, and for all your students as well, we wish them that they create an awesome you know, works as well that they can share in their social media and actually use themselves as well if they want to. So
yeah, cool.
All right. Thank you, David. Thanks to all our friends for watching this. Please share this episode with your friends. You never know, there might be other artists that because you share it, they will also learn from it and will use this information as well in this framework. Thanks so much. Have a great day. Goodbye.
All right. Thanks. Bye.